football game in Washington State history. Cinderella at the ball. Cougars aren't expected to beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl, but then Cougs weren't supposed to have done anything they did this season. Our man in Pasadena, Ed Dawson, talked with head coach Mike Price about this New Year's Day we may never forget.
It's just a thrill for the whole program. Every coach that's ever coached here, every player that's ever played here is part of this going to the Rose Bowl. They should take a lot of pleasure in it, and it's been outstanding.
I've heard the term destiny tossed around. Do you feel that that's a fair assumption?
Well, I think that we are America's team. We're kind of Cinderella. It's David versus Goliath, and we're the David, and everyone cheers for the underdog, and we're in the process of turning an underdog into a wonder dog. Well, I think we're going to play the game with class and character. If we win the game, we're going to win it with class, and that's the way that we've done everything. This team has been that way. It's a great character team. I think you saw that at the Apple Cup. There wasn't any off-colored remarks made after the game about each other or any hits after the whistle. It was played fair with great sportsmanship, and that's the way this Rose Bowl game is going to be played, no matter what the outcome is. And the Cougar alumni and Cougar fans everywhere are going to be proud of the job that we do down there in the Rose Bowl. And if they're proud of it and we're proud of the job, then we'll look up at the scoreboard and we'll figure out who won.
Price isn't quite right at the Rose Bowl tonight. Coach has been suffering the past few days with the flu. But you know Mike Price will be right there on the sideline tomorrow. And you know what will make him feel a whole lot better. Of course, you'll be watching the Rose Bowl tomorrow at 2, but before and after that, check out the action on CBS.
The Washington State Cougars are just a night's sleep away from their Rose Bowl date with Michigan. Now, Cougar head coach Mike Price will need every minute of sleep if he's to be on the sidelines tomorrow afternoon. Coach Price, sick with the flu. He missed today's Rose Bowl press conference in Pasadena. Cougar assistant Larry Lewis stood in for Price. Now, Price plans on being ready to coach tomorrow afternoon. It seems the Chicken Soup Bowl will help the Cougars in this year's Rose Bowl, but Lewis says it doesn't matter because it's up to the kids now anyway.
We've had all of our practices in right now and game plans in, so everything really is up to the kids now.
It's a pretty easy decision for most of us. If you live in Eastern Washington, you're probably cheering for the Cougars, not Michigan. But it's not so easy for one family east of the Cascades. The Malston family has one son, Brad, who goes to Michigan, while the other, Mike, is a graduate of Washington State. Now, despite the difference of opinion on who will win the game, the entire family is headed to Pasadena together to watch the game, and they say this has actually brought the family closer together. But still, it never hurts to talk a little trash about the game.
Well, the Michigan crowd is generally 107,000 people. Whereas the Washington State crowd is generally 7,000 people.
He called me up and said, congratulations, the Cougars are in the Rose Bowl for the first time since the Depression.
Now you can see the biggest Cougar football game possibly ever, or at least in 67 years, right here on ABC tomorrow with the kickoff set for 2 o'clock. That game is the middle of a triple header of bowl games here on ABC, and if that isn't enough football for you, we'll have the in-depth highlights tomorrow at 11 o'clock for you.
Meanwhile, when they arrived in LA either, it seems the tour operator never purchased those tickets. Now with $75 tickets selling for more than $700, these Michigan fans say they were had, and that's putting it mildly.
I do that.
Have you been ripped off?
Absolutely.
And how does that make you feel right now?
I'm so upset. I can't express myself.
What should they do with that button?
They should put an X through it because it is fraud. They even told us at the airport that they had 90% of the tickets in hand, and when we got here today, they said they had 0.
And sports took off and ran right here as you see him walking. When reporters approached him with questions, look at him go. The ticket agency that arranged for the seats in question is reportedly still short of tickets. Well, some Cougar fans that planned on going to the game may not make kickoff as well. Fog at Spokane International Airport has grounded some Rose Bowl-bound Cougar fans. Airport spokesman Todd Woodard says 7 flights have been able to arrive at the airport since last night. One of those flights was a charter jet that was to have flown to the LA area. The plane was scheduled to take about 120 passengers bound for tomorrow's Rose Bowl game between Washington State and Michigan. Well, the Washington State Cougars and Michigan Wolverines will be there for the game. They won't even charge them admission. Tomorrow, the Rose Bowl will be filled with over 100,000 screaming fans for #1 Michigan, a national championship on the line. That stadium will be rocking. For the Cougars, a chance to shock the nation and gain the respect they say they deserve. There's Ryan Leaf with the rose in mouth, and he's getting ready for this game. Coach Mike Price said to have the flu. He says he'll be there tomorrow.
He's just a wuss. All right. Yeah, I'm just a wuss. No problems though, as far as you feeling better, you're going to be on the sidelines? No, I'm being on the sidelines all the way.
I can't speak for them, but for myself, I'm pretty excited over the position we're in right now, and I'm just ready for the game to get going.
Balance. Scare me. You don't scare me. Yeah, he's trying to explain to you that he knows the rules.
The man on the right marked off a spot for 200 fellow church members. The man on the left wanted space for his family of 4.
You can't block this whole block. People out here.
I separated this space for 3 days.
How about give me a little piece of it?
And you got how many people?
I got 4 people.
4 people. So if you got
small little group.
4 more isn't going to hurt, right? In the spirit of sharing, they did. Others found sharing a happier experience thanks to 35-year parade veteran Nora Benjamin. She comes out 3 days ahead of time, marks off a quarter-block stretch, and invites people she meets in the parking lot to join her.
Now we've got a new group here. We're going to squeeze in somehow and make room for them. I mean, why not? That's what makes the Rose Parade, is all the people you meet and have a lot of fun.
It was surprising because you really don't expect people to do that.
I'm like a little kid right now. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. I'm like a little kid.
Brian Jenkins reporting.